My daughter took my ex-wife and her stepdad to meet her fiancé's family without me. You're an embarrassment, she said. I whispered, I understand. The next morning, they all burst into my house demanding answers. My daughter Leah is 26. I raised her mostly on my own from age 6 to 18 after her mother Diane left me for a man named Cliff. Cliff had money. I didn't. I was a plumber. Still am. I drove Leah to school every morning, sat through every parent-teacher conference, helped with every science project, worked double shifts to pay for her dance classes. Diane showed up maybe twice a month for dinner and bought Leah expensive gifts to make up for the rest. When Leah was 14, she started spending more weekends at Diane and Cliff's house. They had a pool, a big TV, took her shopping. I had a 2-bedroom apartment and spaghetti on Fridays. By the time she graduated, Leah acted like she had 2 dads, and I was the lesser one. Cliff walked her to the car on prom night. Cliff helped her move into her dorm. I paid for the dorm. Nobody mentioned that part. I kept showing up. Every birthday, every holiday, every call she made when something went wrong. When her car broke down sophomore year at 1 a.m., she didn't call Cliff. She called me. I drove 2 hours, fixed the alternator in a gas station parking lot, and drove home for a 6 a.m. job. She never mentioned it again. 3 months ago, Leah called to tell me she was engaged. I was happy for her. His name is Drew. Seems like a decent guy. She said his family wanted to do a big meet the parents dinner at a nice restaurant downtown. I said I'd be there. Then she went quiet. Actually, Dad, I think it's better if Mom and Cliff go. I waited. She kept talking. Drew's family is kind of formal. His dad's a lawyer. His mom runs a design firm. I just think it would be easier if the people there sort of match the vibe. I asked her what that meant. She sighed. Dad, you show up to everything in work boots. You talk about pipes and water heaters. Cliff knows how to act around people like that. You don't. I didn't say anything for a long time. Then she said it. I don't want to be mean, but you're kind of an embarrassment. I sat on the edge of my bed and looked at my hands. Still had grease under my nails from a job that morning. I said I understand. She said thank you for not making this weird and hung up. The dinner happened on a Saturday. I wasn't there. I sat in my apartment and watched a game I didn't care about. That night I couldn't sleep, so I sat at my kitchen table and wrote a letter. Not angry, just honest. Every school pickup, every rent check, every time I sat in the parking lot at her dance recitals because I couldn't afford the tickets but didn't want to miss it. The dorm payments, the alternator at 1 a.m. 12 years of being the only parent who showed up every single day. Then I wrote one more thing. I had been saving for her wedding since she was 9 years old. Every month I put away what I could. Some months it was $50. Some months it was $300. It added up to $42,000. At the bottom of the letter I wrote, I was pulling the money. Not out of anger. I just realized I'd been saving for a day where I'd probably be asked to sit in the back so I didn't embarrass anyone. I didn't send the letter. I didn't need to. The next morning, Leah showed up at my door with Diane and Cliff. Not to apologize. Leah was there because Drew's father had asked her at dinner. So what does your dad do? She told him I was a plumber. Drew's father lit up. He spent 20 minutes asking about Leah's father who works with his hands, builds things, runs his own crew. He said he respected that more than anything. Drew's mother said she'd been trying to find a good plumber for their rental properties for months. They asked why I wasn't at dinner. Leah didn't have a good answer. Drew's dad said he'd like to meet me. Cliff stood behind them looking at the floor. Diane wouldn't look at me. Leah's eyes were red. Dad, can we talk? I looked at all 3 of them standing on my porch. The same porch I rebuilt myself 2 summers ago. I said there's nothing to talk about. Leah started crying. Drew's family loved you before they even met you. They loved the idea of me. You replaced me with the real thing a long time ago. Diane stepped forward. She didn't plan to hurt you. I looked at Diane, the woman who left, who let Cliff play dad while my money funded everything in the background. You don't get to tell me what she planned. Cliff opened his mouth. I looked at him and he closed it. Leah whispered, Dad, please. I shook my head. I hope the wedding is beautiful, Leah. I mean that. But I won't be there pretending I'm not an embarrassment. I closed the door. 12 years of saving, $42,000, gone in one sentence. You're an embarrassment. Some words you can't take back.